So welcome back, guys, to another video on the scrolling platformer. So today we'll be covering a lot of stuff today. So we will first do the backdrop change. So this is optional. You can do it if you want, but it'll certainly make your game look much better. And then next we will do the play button and like the scrolling platformer word up here to let the player know it's a scrolling platformer, I guess. And then we will do the icons for selection like we did in our two-player fighting game. We did icons. You can select whichever person you want. This one we made skins to select. And then after that, we'll do the you win. And after that, we'll do the drop-down screen, which is the thumbnail. So first, let's start out with the change backdrop. So you can do this if you want. It's optional. So I will get a broadcast and wait. So you want to broadcast and wait a new message called change backdrop. Oops. Change backdrop. And then for here in the player win, after that you want to also broadcast the change backdrop. So after each level it will change the backdrop. And wait. You need to make it change backdrop and wait. So now we want to work onto the backdrop. So let's go into our backdrop. So right now we don't have the mouse code. Well, we will add the change backdrop. So when I receive the change backdrop, get an if then statement. If the level is equal to 1, level is equal to 1, then we can switch the backdrop to backdrop 1, the first backdrop, this one. And then I'm going to duplicate this. If it's equal to level 2, then they'll switch to backdrop 2. If the level is level 3, then I guess we can switch to backdrop 3. So our backdrop 1, 2, this is 2, and backdrop 3, the one we drew. So let's duplicate this one last time. If the level is equal to 4, I'm just going to do backdrop to backdrop 1 again at the end. You can do any, actually, so I'm going to get it when flag clicked. We want to switch the backdrop to the first backdrop in the beginning. And then you get a forever loop. And next we want to play some music. So I already have some music downloaded. So I got like the Horizon Bound music from the two-player fighting game. So I'm just going to get a forever loop. Place that Horizon Bound until done. And then next you can do any music, but I'm just doing this. Maybe you can get a sound from the library or you can download it from online. I'm just doing this music. So as you can see, when you play it now, the backdrop will change. So let me collect these collectibles. When I get to the next level, the backdrop should change. As you can see, the backdrop changed. So when we go to the third backdrop, it should change to backdrop 3. So next, let's work on the play button. So I already have it in here. I'm just going to drag it. I already have a play button. And these are words, I guess. This just say scrolling platformer. So let's work on the play button first. So let's go to our play button. So we're going to make it so when the play button touches the mouse pointer, it'll get bigger and then it'll grow smaller again. So when flag clicked, you want to set the size to 0%. So it'll grow big. It's kind of like when it sets the size to 0%, but then it gets it bigger again. So then it'll look like it's growing in the beginning, I guess. Makes your game look much better, of course. So I set my thing at x0, y -90. So next you want to get a show. In the beginning you always want to show. Forever. If touching mouse pointer, then you want to change the, oh, if else. Sorry, it's an if else. Get the if else. So this is if touching mouse pointer, then you want to change the size. Change size by unit division sign. So change 120 minus 120 minus the size of the play button, which is 100, so 20 size, and then you divide it by 3. And then we want to set ghost effect, set ghost to 30, so when it's touching the mouse pointer it can like ghost a little bit, and then we can just duplicate this code, but instead we'll do 100 here. So this is just making it so if it's not touching the mouse pointer, then it will shrink back down. So instead we'll just make it go back into -10. Okay. And now we want to get a when the sprite is clicked. So we can play this on pop. You can just do this if you want. It's optional. You want to hide, broadcast start game to let all the other sprites know to start the game once this button is clicked. So let's broadcast a new message. Start game. So we have start game. So now let's broadcast it to all the other sprites. So we want to stop the script after that. Stopped the script. Now let's go to the player. So for here, it's a when flag clicked. Let's take it to when flag clicked. And instead, when I receive start game, it will run everything under it. So start game right here. And next, let's work on the words. So I have them right here. I just wrote scrolling platformer. You can just write that. And then next, for words, it's the code for the shrinking and growing is the same. So just drag and drop that in here. Like that. And then when I receive start game, you want to hide, because you don't want it to show anymore after the play button is clicked. So you want to hide it. And next, let's work on the icons. So in the what is that? The two-player fighting game, I taught you guys how to make these buttons. So if you have not watched that video, be sure to watch that first. So what we did was just draw a circle. So let me delete this. So we just drew a circle with outline. Copy pasted the costume for the square thing, the player, and then duplicated it, and then we just made it a different color and shrink the eyes as well, and we grouped it. And then for the second one, we just made wording with selected and changed the border and the color. So now let's work on the buttons. So let's go to the code. So when flag clicks, I'm gonna go to this X and Y position, -175Y0. Let's go to the front layer, switch costume to the first costume in the beginning, so it won't be selected, and then you want to show in the beginning. And then when I receive start game, then I want to hide. So when the game starts, you want to hide the buttons, and we'll need a new variable. Let's name it player color, and don't forget to make it in all caps, because it's global variable, like Griffpatch said. I am still doing that same rule. As you can see, all the global variables are all in caps. So when the sprite is clicked, so the code is similar here with the two-player fighting game. So when the sprite is clicked, then we want to set the player color to red. because this is the red button. So when you click this, it'll set it to red. And then after that, we want to broadcast a new message called selected color. Selected color, and then we want to switch costume to the second costume. So then it'll appear as selected. And then when I receive selected color, then get an if-else statement. If the player color is equal to red, the variable player color is equal to red, then switch costume to the second costume to make it selected, else we want to switch costume to the first costume. So all the code for the characters are all the same, just drag and drop it, except for the X and Y position. So I have to remember to add that. Drag and drop it here. And okay, so we have all the code right here. And the X and Y position for the green, I did it at 0, 0. And the costumes, let me delete this real quick. It's the same thing, I just made it a different color, green. Of course you can do any color you want. And then instead of player color is red, we set it to green. And then instead of player color right here, we have to do green as well. So there you have it. Now let's drag and drop it to the character 3. Okay, so now we have all the code in character 3. Let's change the colors. Instead of green, we have to do blue. And instead of player color here, we have to do blue. And there you have it. That's it. And one last thing, I forgot to change the X and Y position. For here, I did 175, and the Y position is 0. Okay, so back at the player, we have to make it switch costumes, of course. So zoom in. So right now we don't have any costumes right here. So I already have it in my backpack. So what you would do is go in here and copy paste it into here, or duplicate this and then make it the same color as this. So I already have it right here. Okay, so I have 3 costumes: costume 1, costume 2, costume 3. So right here, right before this, we want to add if-then statements. If the player color is equal to red, player color is equal to red, then we'll switch the costume to 1, so it'll become the red costume instead. And just duplicate this. If the player color, is equal to green, then we'll switch the costume to the second costume. And let's duplicate this one last time. If the player costume is equal to blue, then we'll switch the costume to the third costume. So we have all the costume switching now. And let's play it, I guess. And one last thing, we have to change the X and Y position for the words. So let's change it to -15. This is what I had before. So -15 and Y is 120. So now let's try it out. So let's play the game. So as you can see, when you put your mouse, hover on top of it, it'll get bigger. And I'm gonna select the blue one. So as you can see, it selects to the corresponding color. Everything still works. So I'm just gonna go to the next level to show you guys if the change backdrop still works. As you can see, it worked. So now we shall continue to our you win. Let's work on the winning. So I already have it in my backpack, I think. Yeah, you win right here. And let me drag this. No, this is not it. So the UN, and that's it for now. So, and also I forgot thumbnail. Yeah, so for UN, we're gonna add some code. So we're gonna make a new variable called stop timer. Make it in all caps because it's a global variable. Stop timer. So this is for the drop down screen. We'll need a variable. So unlike in another video, I taught you guys how to make a drop down screen. I used the reset timer, but this time we will have to use a variable called stop timer because it keeps on for the drop down screen, because we are also using the timer to calculate how long it takes the player to get to the end. So right now let's work on the UN. When I receive start game, then you want to show the variable timer. We'll deal with the stop timer later. We want it to go to 0, 0, the UN. Wait until level is equal to 4. Level is equal to 4. And then when the level is equal to 4, then we wait 1 second just to give it a little bit pause, just give it a little bit time. Then we will show it. Or also show a little bit too early. Then we want to hide the variable level. And then we broadcast another message. We can call it stop timer. Stop timer. Stop timer. And then next we'll do a when I receive start game. Forever. Set the timer. Timer of the how long it takes it to finish to the actual timer right here. And when I receive stop timer, you want to stop other scripts in the sprite. Stop other scripts in the sprite, and when flag clicked, you want to hide the variable timer. Hide variable timer and set the timer to 0. Oops, wrong one. Set timer to 0. Okay. Now we have the UN down. We can work on the thumbnail finally. This will be our last one to do. So, like I mentioned earlier, the reset timer will not work since the timer that calculates how long it takes the player to complete the game will interfere with the thumbnail thing. So let's get one flag clicked. We'll go to 0, 0, and let's go to the front layer and hide. In the beginning, you want to hide. And next, you want to get the set stop timer to 0.1. Let's set the timer to 0.1. Set the stop timer to 0.1. So what this does is detect if the stop sign is getting clicked. So forever, set the stop timer to timer, the variable timer. Not the variable timer, the sensing block timer plus 0.1. So it will always make the stop timer a 0.1 seconds faster than the timer. So it will always be faster than timer. So when timer is greater than the stop timer, hide the variable level and hide the variable timer. I want it to go to 0 X is 0, Y is 300, so it'll be off the screen. Show. After that, you want to show when the timer is greater than the stop timer. Glide, maybe 0.5 seconds. Oops. 0.5 seconds to 0, 0. Okay. So I just got this thumbnail from one of our video thumbnails. So you can make your own, I guess. Just draw it. So now let's try out the game. I'm going to save my project. So let's play it. And when you press the stop button, this thing comes down. And we can make these hide when it at the end. So to do that, to make these hide, we simply just get the timer thing. If it's greater than the stop timer, then hide. And just drag and drop that to all 3 of the button selections. Let's see. Okay, right here. And right here. So now let's play the game. So when you press stop, they're all hide. So let's play this one time. I'll demonstrate it. I will now demonstrate the game. So you cannot select 2 of them. I will select the blue one so it's easier to see it. And there's all of these. Select the blue one. So as you can see, the timer running. And you can wall jump, collect collectibles, collect the collectibles. So I'm pretty sure it's working. So that's it for this video, guys. And oh yeah, and to fix that, you can instead of instead of doing front layer, if you don't want that, sometimes it will not go in front of it, so you can make it go for 99 layers instead. This will work. So as you can see, when you play it, it'll go to the front because this is in the front layer. So to fix that, we will have to add the same code right here. Just drag and drop it to the player. It's going to be somewhere here. Right here. So that's it for the video, guys. As you can see, when you click the stop, it covers everything. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And see you guys in the next video.